Hey everybody, welcome to another Con Support video. This one's on signs of sums. I just wanted to go through and see if I can give you guys some support on this topic. So the first thing that I wanted to go over was the idea of neither positive nor negative, the sum is zero. So if you're looking at those two values, right, and it's a number plus its opposite, any number plus its opposite always has a sum of zero. So basically, if the positive value and the negative value that are being combined are exactly the same, you're going to get a sum of zero. Okay, in this case, you got 23 over 45 plus negative 23 over 45. Hence, the positive and negative value are the same distance from zero. Hence, they're going to neutralize each other. You're going to get a sum of zero. So this is going to be neither positive nor negative, right? It's like a tie. And so let's check that. Let's move on to the next question. Okay, this one says, what is the sign of negative 201 plus 189? So when you're looking at this, you want to think of it like a scoreboard, right? You're going to have a positive value and a negative value, right? On the positive side, you've got the value of 189. On the negative side, you've got this value of 201, right? So you have to ask yourself, who's further from zero, right? Which one's stronger? And just in terms of not caring about direction, right, but just in terms of like the weight, right, the amount of pull it has. Well, 201 is a bigger absolute value than 189. So this one's further from zero. Hence, we know that 201 is going to win. Hence, the negative is going to win. So it's going to be a negative answer. So we can put negative, and we're good to go. Okay. Now, for the next question here, it's negative 289 plus 311. Without having to draw the scoreboard for you, I think you guys can kind of visualize this. On the negative side, you'd have 289. On the positive side, you'd have 311. Who's going to win that battle? The positive. By how much? It doesn't really matter. So the answer is positive. All they're caring about in this case is just, is the sign going to be positive or negative? And when you add those together, you're going to get a positive because the positive was a stronger value. It pulled further from zero, basically. So for the next one, you got negative 456 plus positive 456. Basically, if you put that on a scoreboard, it's a tie, right? Which means that when you add them together, you get nothing. So that's going to be that. For the next one, it says A plus B. Now, A is something below zero, but it's definitely bigger than B, right? So we know, but in terms of the distance here, right, this is going to be a value that is closer to zero, so smaller absolute value, but it's negative. And B is going to be further from zero, but it's still negative. So basically, this is a negative plus a negative, right? And whenever you're understanding the idea of a sum of a negative plus a negative, it's always going to be another negative value. So when we have a negative plus a negative, it just gets more negative. So the answer is going to be negative, right? The rule is if the sign's the same, then the sum is going to have the same sign, right? If the sign's different, then you have to decide who's going to win and then by how much, and that's what determines the sign. But if they're both negatives and you add them together, you're going to get more negative. If they're both positives and you add them together, you're going to get more positive. Okay? This one says 3/5 plus 3/5 are both positives. When you add two positives together, you get a positive. And I think that's that. I'm not sure why it's not letting me go to the next question. Oh, there we go. Check. All right, and then the next one is 3.456 plus negative 3.456. And like I said, if you're adding two values together, one's positive, one's negative, and they're the same distance from zero, it's going to be a situation where they cancel each other out and you get a sum of zero. So this is neither positive nor negative. And that's that. Okay? And so that's how you do these skills. Let me see if I can stop our little video.